rain came in, late summer drifted away, and my time freed up a bit. But then my mom came for a visit, and the basketball season started, so that freedom didn't last long. And when I had some afternoons free, I'd tend to my plants, clean around the apartment, and try to do some reading. Of course, in the evenings, it was back to the gym for basketball practice.
We got another game tomorrow, and I'm feeling good about this one. The other ones I knew our team wasn't ready. This one, well, the jury's still out on if we're ready or not, but I feel like everyone's finally hungry enough to actually want to come get it. So, and also, everyone we've been talking to has been telling us we're going to lose, so that's nice motivation in and of itself.
We played much, much better than our previous games. We trusted each other, we played together, and we played basketball. Monty and Snell both had great games, and the role players played their role. We didn't come out on top, but we fought until the very end, and I left the game feeling proud of our effort. The complete opposite of the feeling I had a few weeks ago after our first game. But there's still work to be done, and a lot of season left. So we have to put our heads down and keep moving forward. I don't know how I used to play 3 or 4 games in a single week when I was in college. Maybe it was because this particular team was especially physical in their play, or that I'm getting older, but the day after that game I felt like I had been hit by a bus. So I did what I normally do the day after games. I got outside to get some good air in my lungs and blood flowing through my legs as I walked around the city and took in the sights and smells of an October Sunday morning in Pogradec. And to help with my recovery, I decided to take a dip in the lake. I won't go into all the studied health benefits of cold water exposure. I just know that I love swimming in cold water, especially when it's a natural source. And I know that it gets my blood pumping and wakes me up. It forces me to focus on the here and now and to concentrate on my breathing. The lake is so inviting at this time of year. There's rarely anyone in it, so the sand doesn't get stirred up, and it emphasizes that picturesque clarity that I love so much about Lake Ohrid. And when the surface is calm, with nothing more than a few tiny waves on the beach, it's the perfect atmosphere to go for a swim. At first, the water was a bit frigid, but after a couple of minutes, my body adjusted and the sting of the cold disappeared, helped by the warmth of the sun on my face.
Yes. No water at all.
Just whatever the sky would give us.
Huh.
So I had really very few apples this year. This tree is doing well.
You got some nice persimmons though.
Yeah. But everything else, and the grapes did well, but everything else, all the apples.
I have a garden here then.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
probably expand this out a little more. I'm not sure exactly where the water pipe is. It's somewhere around.
I get tons of messages from people about Albania.
Okay.
People that are wanting to visit Albania, move to Albania, or even just learn more about Albania. And over the course of my 6 years living here, I've had the pleasure of meeting so many wonderful people through those messages. I've made friends that I will stay connected to for many years to come, and even traveled with others. And sometimes those messages turn into people actually taking the leap and moving to this tiny country in southeastern Europe. So one day I went to visit a friend, someone who started out as a stranger from a cold DM, who has now bought a house in a village nearby Pogradec and is working on making it his home.
Yes. Like it says extra virgin olive oil. I avoid because those guys would just come out and like Rambo for.
And in the blink of an eye, it was time for another basketball game. Again, I have no idea how I played multiple games per week during college and still had time to pass most of my classes.
Well, this seems to be the right direction.
This game was in Vlore. And after checking into the apartment we got for the night, Monty, Snell, and I walked to the gym. It was another bad game. It's hard to keep losing like this. It messes with the confidence of individuals, as well as the unity of a team. I've been adjusting to my role on this team more and more each game, though, and I've started to figure it out a bit. I know I'm not going to be a primary scorer for us, because I don't get many shots, so I challenge myself to focus on the smaller, less glamorous things, rebounding, defense, or assists. It's a tiny bit easier to stomach a loss when I can be proud of the way I personally played. Don't get me wrong, I still hate seeing the scoreboard lean heavily in favor of the other team. But I have to find a silver lining, or else it would just be too much.
There's a big market. You need me to translate? I was about to say the same thing about yours. This is just basic.
And during the drive back to Pogradec the following morning, it really started to sink in how far into the year we are. Almost done with it, even. But as I drove and noticed the changing leaves on the trees, I was reminded about where I was last year at this time. I thought about how last year I had some of the same thoughts about the coming of autumn, and how Pogradec seemed to jump from late summer to winter without much color change in the foliage.
They just stop. So I just slam on my brakes and not hit the back of their car. And then they just sit there.
So as I walked around town for the next few days, I tried to really take in all the colors that are popping in the trees. I tried to bask in the afternoon sunlight that comes pouring into my apartment windows. I tried to consciously take notice of the changes around me and find beauty in the mundane. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll be back soon.